First card to come up for you, the Emperor. Oh, wow. So I'm a Gemini. This is the love reading for Gemini. Now, I do want to say, watch your moon and your Venus. And if you don't know what they are, please go to astrodanced.com. If you can't figure it out, purchase a natal chart reading on the website. You just click the link below. And we'll pull it up for you and give you a complete explanation of both your Venus, your moon, and all of your signs and the planets associated with them. So, Gemini, this is dogma. This is a guy who makes rules just to make rules. And it's kind of the Napoleonic syndrome card. It's someone throwing their weight around and just to throw it around. And they've got a taste of power and they like it and they're going to use it. So that's what I'm hearing for you, Gemini. This colors the entire month. This is also called the daddy card. The Empress would be the mommy card. This is the bad daddy card. This even may be someone around you who, in the reverse, it could mean they're ineffective as a protector or provider. And now I want to move into relationship, and I want to move into what this means as we approach relationship. Now, sometimes our inner parent can be a good daddy or a bad daddy. And so if your inner daddy is not in the upright, this reading speaks to addressing how you protect and provide for yourself within relationship. Boundaries also are coming up. And for some reason, all of our signs this month, we're not getting as much from Spirit about external happenings. This is more internal workings toward relationship this month. It seems August is a month to work on the internal aspects of self to approach relationship for the fall. And so I'm hearing here that if you are approaching relationship with no boundaries, because this card would speak to that. It basically speaks to not protecting yourself, not having that paradigm, that idea, that self-love necessary to create these healthy boundaries, because for some reason you weren't protected sufficiently in the past, or felt as if you couldn't rely upon someone to have your back. So that's coming up pretty strongly, and so this card needs to be turned around, and that means that there may be some work to do. Now, if you're drawing this type of person to you also, again, we're speaking to boundaries and protecting ourselves and seeing the red flags. If you're surrounded by narcissists, people who trample over your boundaries, who like to control you, who you feel comfortable with initially because they are controlling, or they're trying to assert themselves and their power, that's where they feel comfortable in relationship, and you feel comfortable being subverted to that power, then that would speak to this card as well. Okay, so we're getting majors here. We've got the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man, I've got all my little cards here. This one I read, this one I have not. And so we have for you the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man is a great card. This is a card of sacrifice. And speaking to sort of having a unique viewpoint of the world, because you're between heaven and earth, basically. You're not grounded in materialism, steeped in materialism, but you're also not steeped in being overly spiritual. You're just sort of in between. It's a nice balance. And it's also sometimes called the card of the student, because you have to remove yourself when you go to university or any kind of school, trade school, whatever. You have to remove yourself in order to learn this new lesson, and sometimes school can seem almost, I don't know, it's a time period in your life that you'll never experience again, because it's almost this time period where it's like this bubble that you live in, and very much like the Hanged Man. So you're between two worlds. You're not in the working world yet, but you're also not you're not steeped in like some sort of academic place. I mean, you're just like in between, and I don't know if that really will resonate, but that's kind of what is coming out here. You're in between two places. So this in reverse speaks to not wanting to sacrifice what you have right at the moment to gain enlightenment. And you'll see that this fella has like a halo around his head, and so he's enlightened as he hangs between these two worlds. And sometimes it's even, it can mean in reverse that you're hanging on to either one or the other too tightly. And so either materialism, which means you're so steeped in materialism that you're not willing to sacrifice materialism, or you're so steeped in the other world, the other side, spirituality, that you're not willing to sacrifice to become more grounded. So it can go one way or the other. But again, you could also feel challenged to a relationship, sacrificing a relationship, sacrificing your inner boundaries, which aren't that great, actually, from what I'm hearing. I see this Emperor, and so you got to sacrifice something. You've got to learn something in order to get this place of protection more in line, so that you're not attracting these types of people in your life who really don't have your highest and best top of mind. Now, if you've had a history of these relationships, these bringing in the people to your life who are narcissistic, who want to harm you even, because in the reverse, this guy isn't protecting at all. He's leaving you wide open to harming yourself or being harmed by others. And this is your internal boundary system. Then you may not want to give up this relationship pattern of being attracted to these narcissists. You might feel as if you're going to lose too much. There's too much at stake here. This person who is trampling all over my boundaries is also allowing me to feel the same. I mean, you're getting a lot out of it, actually, because you're going back and you're replaying old tapes, things that you felt were normal. So this card says, step back, stand on your head, look at it from a completely different perspective, because this is not a good pattern. This is a bad pattern that you need to take a look at from a higher perspective. And in order to do that, you may need to sacrifice some things. You may even need to sacrifice an entire relationship. That's what I'm hearing. So the next card that comes up for you, and this is unexpected, is the Ace of Wands. So there's going to be some passion coming into your life. Now, so if there is passion coming into your life unexpectedly in the month of August, when we've got all of this stuff going on, where you're like, oh my gosh, I might be with another narcissist. What is happening here? Or I'm feeling like my borders are being trampled over, or I need boundaries. I'm trying to set boundaries here, but if I do set boundaries with this person, I'm going to have to make some big sacrifice, and I don't know if I'm willing to do that. up comes this card. So there's passion. If this is a relationship that's already in the works, there's passion in this relationship. You're feeling passion with this person, even though they are trampling over your boundaries. It turns you on. And so that has something to do with that Hanged Man reversed. Now, why does it turn you on when somebody tramples over your boundaries? When somebody isn't helping you protect and provide for yourself. If you're in a relationship with somebody like that, take a good look at that. Now, we did have an awesome reading last month where love was in the air. It was full on. Somebody wanted to give it to you. Now, in August, it seems there's some relationship patterns that need to be looked at, and there are boundary issues that Gemini needs to tune into. And maybe this is all of our Geminis. Maybe it's not all of our Geminis. Please watch your rising. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, watch your rising, but really what you want to do is watch your moon and your Venus, because those are your relationship reflective houses. If you don't know what they are, have your natal chart pulled, please. But this turns you on. This dynamic turns you on. And so there needs to be there needs to be a moment in time where you step back and stand on your head and look at this from a different perspective. I mean, almost literally. That's the Fool. Become a student, the Fool. That is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man has nothing to do with the Fool. The Hanged Man is about reevaluation and learning from past situations, but on a very highly charged karmic level. Now, these are lessons that are learned over a lifetime and lifetimes. So here's a big pattern that Spirit's bringing up for you. Boundary issues, Gemini, and this inability to protect and provide for yourself because you've had something modeled for you in your past that tells you that this is where it feels safe. When people are trampling over your love grass. Keep them off the love grass, okay? You can't grow a garden, a beautiful garden, where people can come and enjoy the sights and the smells of the flowers and the trailing vines and just the lushness of it when people are trampling all over what you're trying to grow and put in place. So you need to find a way to fence this off, this emotional garden that you have. I'm hearing this loud and clear. Maybe you're attracting people who just have the inability to not trample over your garden. And if you are attracting that type of person, then you're probably going to need to make a sacrifice. So in order to change the behavior, you have to sacrifice feeling like this is right. This turns me on. This card, I'm highly turned on when somebody tries to pull a 50 Shades of Grey on me. Not that I've read that book, but it feels very much like that. I'm in charge. I'm in control. You like it. It turns you on. So this is a good card. 5 of Cups reversed. So there might be, after last month, and we're like, oh, it's time to open the door to love, right? And you do, but now let's reevaluate what type of people you're letting through that door. So we're vetting now this month. this card comes up. This is the Five of Cups. This is a good card because this basically tells us that you're going to mourn this thing and you're going to turn around and you're going to look at your options. And you're not going to spend a lot of time doing it. Now, I'm glad that you watched this reading because I feel like we're getting some really important messages this month. There's work to be done. And in order for all of us, all of our signs, to move to the next level of relationship. And that's really what this is all about. These love readings. These love readings are meant to heal and bring you to do the work and move to the next level of relationship and become healthy and happy and whole within relationship. So love readings really, to me, are more about loving ourselves. And, you know, the Lovers is all about seeing ourselves reflected in the eyes or through the eyes of our loved one. And so really that's the purpose here. I'm creating an opportunity to open conversation with you about how you love yourself and how you approach love in the real world. So we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups at the very end of the reading is great because, yes, there's some mourning that's going to happen. You're going to cry or someone else is going to cry. But that's the sacrifice. There's an emotional sacrifice that has to happen here. You have to let these cups fall, and you do. There are 3 cups falling, and there are 2 cups behind this cloaked figure, and the cloaked figure in the reverse is now looking at the 2 full cups. And so if you are dealing with internal boundary issues that come from not being parented sufficiently, or maybe you were parented sufficiently, but for some reason you didn't create a structure that was strong and allowed you to protect your own best interests somewhere along the way. And this happens early on most of the time. So there's a reevaluation of why you're bringing this energy in that wants to subvert and control. And it turns you on. So there's some reevaluation there. Will a sacrifice need to be made? Well, maybe you just need to sacrifice this idea that it's cool to have somebody control you. And that means that they love you. That's not love, that's just control and power tripping. But there is a reevaluation of that. Now, will you bring new people in? Yes, I totally see that you're going to allow perhaps a relationship that's going on right now, you're going to sacrifice it. And that's a major shift for you, a major shift. But it's going to bring in a whole new way of doing relationship, a whole new, more attuned to who you are. You're going to respect yourself on a soul level. So whatever happened in this lifetime or last lifetime that brought this on, this idea that you're not worthy of protection, that you're going to begin to work on this month. You're going to reevaluate who you're bringing in. And thank you, Gemini. These readings have been really, really, this month, wow. August is going to be a big work month, an emotional work month for all of our signs. So once again, watch your moon, watch your Venus. If you don't know what your moon and your Venus are, go to astrodance.com below. Click on those links. Get your free natal chart. Watch those readings as well. Those are your relationship houses. Get a private reading, virtual tarot. I'm sorry, burnt out. Ava Trudy, virtualtarot.com. Go there, go on the site. We have Skype, we have audio. We also have astrology, natal chart wheels that you can order, and they're pretty powerful. So check those out. And thank you for joining. I am wiped out. Big reading here for Gemini once again. You guys have a great month. And here's a kiss. I'll see you in September.